Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here. Your continued love and support here on the channel. For those of you that would like to book a private reading with me, you can find my email down below in the description box. Just send me an email, and I will provide you with more information on booking readings as well as other services with me. So today's pick a card reading topic, we are doing how is divine intervention taking place in your life? We do have 3 options for you guys to choose from. For group number 1, you are going to be this tiger tail Jasper. So tiger tail Jasper for group number 1. Group number 2, you are going to be the clear quartz. Group number 3, you are going to be the Carnelian. So Carnelian for group number 3. How is divine intervention taking place in your life? Group number 1, tiger tail Jasper. Group 2, clear quartz. And then group 3, we have Carnelian. The timestamps will be down below for you guys, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. So those of you that resonate with the tiger tail Jasper, this is going to be your reading today. So we're asking Spirit, how is divine intervention taking place in your life? So let's take a look at your first card. We have card number 45, Storm. Okay, so we are going to be adding in some additional cards here before we get into the tarot. So let's start shuffling these out. How is divine intervention taking place in your life? Group number 1. We have the Oracle, and it says wait for important information. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 1's life? Wow, we have card number 26, and it says you are on the right path. You are on the right path. And I know sometimes we worry about that. You're on the right path. How is divine intervention taking place in group 1's life? Wow, look at that. Guardian spirit. I'm going to move this down. That's funny. We have a little owl, and I have these 2 owls sitting in front of me. There's also one you guys can't see that I have off camera. It's my little owl candle that I have over here too. I have 3 owls looking at me. Now 4. Okay. So the storm, the oracle, the guardian spirit, and you are on the right path. And even if you look at this card here, there's a bunch of spirits, little spirits here that are all around. Okay. What else do I want to do? I think I want to pull some of these. And we're going to pull your tarot as well. I'm going to pull these out and put them face down until we get the tarot out. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 1's life? Okay, I'm going to take 3 of these. Just take those. Okay. So we're going to just hold those to the side for a second. We're going to pull your tarot. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 1's life? We have the, wow, 8 of Wands. It kind of looks like, in a way, this is kind of what's happening. And this is the way in which we kind of like see it with our, you know, in the physical. But from the spiritual, this is, to me, this is kind of like the way that it, like the way that it really is, 5D. And this is the way we kind of see it. So here we've got this little girl with, what is that, a goat or something? And looking at all these little shooting stars here. So 8 of Wands. How is divine intervention taking place in your life, group number 1? We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands. The King of Swords. And I'm going to pull one more over here. The Page of Wands. Okay, we've got the Two of Swords here at the bottom. So the Two of Swords energy is when we're feeling indecisive, we're feeling conflicted, confused, and you know, the message of this card is about us finding balance in the mind so that we may connect with our inner voice, our intuition. The twos connect to the High Priestess, which is a number 2. So with the 8 of Wands, this is about, can be about a card about communication. And this, to me, with all of these spirits kind of showing up, the guardian spirit, the oracle here waiting for important information, it feels that you might be someone who is very intuitive, or it could be that your psychic senses are kind of heightened at this time with receiving information, messages from spirit that are kind of guiding in a way, because with the 10 of Wands being here, This is a feeling for us of feeling overwhelmed, maybe stressed out, feeling like we're carrying a heavy weight, burden, and we may be feeling kind of like energetically kind of like just worn down. And so, you know, and it could be, of course, a source of stress here. The Ace of Wands is about divine inspiration. So with this little hand here, it's kind of holding this little candlelight in a way, kind of lighting the way, guiding the way here with the path. And then we have the King of Swords here, which is about, it can also be a card about communication, but it's also about clarity. It's about truth, power, authority, visions, decision making. Okay, so this kind of feels like giving you information here, giving you and providing you with insight, perhaps during, you know, something that could be occurring in your life. Now we also have the Page of Wands here. Page of Wands is about starting down a new path, pursuing maybe a creative passion, pursuit. And this is a feeling of enthusiasm, excitement, adventure, exploring. It's very similar to the Fool energy within the tarot, about doing something new. So again, with that Two of Swords here at the bottom, you know, we could be feeling a little confused, or having two different thoughts, two different ideas, and not knowing which one is the right one, which one to choose. And again, when we're feeling that way, this is where we need to kind of find balance in the mind by being silent, quiet, silencing the mind, basically, and listening to what the inner voice is telling us. We also have the Nine of Wands, and I love this because look at how we have all this spirit support here in your oracle cards. And if you look at this Nine of Wands card, we've got the Devil here too, but if you look at this Nine of Wands card, look at how this, I guess what you call it, a creature, this creature here is kind of standing behind this little girl, almost like getting her to just look, to open her eyes. And it even looks like in this little fire here, like there's another eye there, almost kind of trying to help her to see, not so much with her physical eyes, because here in this Two of Swords, there's a blindfold, right? And that's more or less kind of asking us not to look with our physical eyes, with our 3D thinking mind, consciousness, but more so to go within, right? Like this creature here is trying to get her to see, to receive information. The Nine of Wands is also about resilience, not giving up. And I noticed that she's also carrying a little bowl here too, kind of like this woman is holding a bowl here too, receiving. All these eyes here too that are on this little creature here. Now we also have the Devil showing. Look at that. The Devil and the High Priestess. So the Devil is the ego, okay? The unhealthy aspect of the ego. And here, look at her how she's, again, she's chained and she's blindfolded, kind of like that same character. The Devil, you know, is about fear, manipulation, control. Now, sometimes this could be our own thoughts, right, that are fear-based, and we kind of get stuck in the ego mind. And you also have the High Priestess here, which is more your higher mind, higher consciousness, your intuition. And this is, you know, the ego is, its function is survival here on Earth. The ego is basically the mask that the higher self wears to navigate 3D reality. And our ego is shaped by our experiences, by our belief systems that we are raised with, right? Religion, culture, societal expectations, everything that's kind of developed during our upbringing, or even life experiences that we can have. And sometimes when we have maybe some traumatic or even experiences that really leave like a lasting impression, not all of those experiences shape the ego in a healthy way. Sometimes they can create a lot of fear-based thinking, or where we can't trust ourselves, we can't even trust our own thoughts. And so there's kind of like that battle here between the ego mind and higher consciousness. And so again, this little creature here that's like, stop looking with your physical eyes or through this lens of fear, but see with your higher self, your higher mind, higher consciousness. And then right underneath that high priestess, we've got the Queen of Swords. Okay. Now I do feel like with the Queen of Pentacles being here, this does have to do with something that you have committed your time and your energy into. Now this, for some of you, this might be about your career, your finances. It might even be a relationship, okay? A long-term relationship, even a marriage. So the Queen of Swords gives us clarity, right? And now we have both the King and the Queen of Swords here. So this is certainly balance between the feminine, masculine energies. The Five of Pentacles is also showing up. The Five of Pentacles has to, there's the Fool. The Five of Pentacles has to do with scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness. So the way in which I feel like divine intervention is taking place in your life, it has to do with trying to help you to get out of these limiting mindsets, okay? The Five of Pentacles has to do with lack, scarcity, feeling that we don't have what we need, a lack of resources, right? And that might quite literally be money for some of you with your finances. It may also be a feeling of lack with anything else within our life. It could be love. It could be, if we really want to pursue a certain career path, and we feel like, you know what, I don't have what it takes in order to do that. So again, divine intervention is basically coming in to, in a way, show you, yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you're feeling guided and intuitively guided towards, pursuing something, this is again where Spirit's saying the information that you're receiving is correct. And of course, this conflict, right? The Two of Swords, we've got the Devil and the High Priestess. The ego and higher consciousness, where we might be receiving, right, two different ways of looking at something. And that's kind of where we don't trust, right, what we're receiving. And we start to think in fear, right? Five of Pentacles, lack. So this is where divine is intervening to get you to see and to trust that if you are being guided, right, towards something, you are on the right path. The messages you're receiving is something that you can depend on. So like I said, I kind of feel like Spirit's really trying to get through to you this information, right? We've got that Queen and King of Swords here to give you some kind of divine inspiration to help you to see beyond your limiting beliefs. And again, this could be recognizing, acknowledging, okay, something. For some of you, this Five of Pentacles might be showing to you, like, let's just say that you are in a relationship and your needs are not being met, okay? Because the Five of Pentacles is about lack. What if your needs are not being met? And we've been kind of trapped in an unhealthy situation. We may be feeling limited, right? Which is also this limiting energy here. It can be helping you to see, right? Maybe in a relationship or even a job that is not meeting those needs. And we might feel like there's no way out of that relationship, of that career path, of that job that doesn't pay enough. Or, like I said, for some of you, it might be that you're going to be pursuing something new and you feel like, oh, I can't do it, right? So there's many different ways that this can kind of show up in your life here. But I feel like the important thing is to, trust what you're feeling. Here in this Fool card here, she's blindfolded. And the Fool is about taking a leap of faith. It's about embarking on a new journey. This is without fear. This is trusting where you are being guided intuitively. So we also have what? We've got the Fool and the World here. This is the beginning and this is an ending. So completion, new start. The Magician is also here, which is about manifestation, focused intention. It is you creating perhaps something new, a new reality for yourself with this new beginning. The Fool also represents unlimited potential and unlimited possibility, which is also something that comes in with the Magician. We can create. The possibilities, right, are endless. Magician, you have infinite power to create, to manifest, to shape your reality into something that you are happy with. We can make changes. We can adjust things. And with the Storm here, I kind of see this in a couple different ways. In one way, I see the Storm as, perhaps something that's trying to get your attention. I see the water right from the storm kind of coming through, clearing, purifying. Also, because of course, during a storm, there's a lot of wind, right? Which is the element of air, which I see that as kind of like the swords, receiving information, communication, downloads, right, from spirit, in the way that spirit kind of communicates with you intuitively, whether that is your clairaudience, your clairvoyance, whether you channel and kind of receive information, download through your dreams, during daydreaming. So all the while, this is trying to help you to make some kind of change. And like I said, for some of you, it might be work, finances, leaving something behind that doesn't serve you any longer. It could even be helping you to move beyond limiting beliefs that you have, right? So some of you could have been trapped or stuck in a limiting belief system that is limiting your growth, your expansion when it comes to career, finances, being able to find the relationship that you want, feeling that we have to stay receiving less, which this is, the devil is an illusion, right? We can have the illusion of lack. But the truth is that the universe, right, is abundant. That we have access to that abundance, to prosperity, to being able to create what it is that we wish. Okay, so I want to look, I'm just actually going to look in the little book here. This is the Compendium of Witches Oracle. So we got number 45 with the Storm here. And then we're also going to look at your other cards here. I just remembered. So 45, the Storm. Okay, so it says hardship. That's the Five of Pentacles. Unclear vision and confusion, right? So that unclear vision with that Two of Swords, perhaps the devil, right? Limited vision, not being able to see, and feeling confused, which is also a message with the Two of Swords card. We feel confused. Okay, so it says, at the first drop of rain, the songbirds go quiet, searching for a hiding place in the thicket. Ash-colored clouds gather above, carried by heavy winds. The darkening sky is briefly illuminated by a sharp gash of lightning before thunder fills the air with its deep rumble. The Storm card evokes nebulous images of adversity, turbulence, disorientation, and uncertainty. Okay, so whatever storm, right? Because that storm can be symbolic for many different things that could be occurring in your life. And it may be something that's making us feel that we have no way out of it, or that we don't know how to see the way through. This is where divine intervenes. Literally, I'm kind of imagining this as your spirit team kind of standing behind you, like peeling your eyes open and be like, look, this feeling of lack, and it's a lie. It's an illusion. All is possible. Don't let this be something that keeps you stuck. Learn to trust yourself. You're on the right path where you're being guided. I feel like I said, many of you are being guided towards taking some kind of leap of faith here. Okay. So let's take a look at what you've got. Discipline and perseverance. We also have friendships and platonic, and it says choose yourself with happiness. Okay, so perhaps some of you, this could be spirit trying to align you, right, with the right people, connecting with the right people, who could inspire you in some way. The Queen and King of Swords are also really, they can represent people that you have in your life that are very good at problem solving, analyzing, right? Data, information. There's a lot of logic that comes in through here. It could be someone who you talk to who's like your voice of reason, a person who's really good at, seeing things clearly, who's able to help you to see even both sides of a situation, So again, this is where Spirit's saying, choose yourself, happiness. Maybe it's friendships in your life that don't serve. Okay. Ones that are no longer meeting your needs. Ones that you feel like you need to move away from. Okay. So, wow. I love this, Group 1. The reading that I was actually doing yesterday was so... What was I doing yesterday? I think I was asking, what aspect of your life is there too much, is taking too much of your attention? And that reading was heavy. So this is so much better, than what Spirit was having me read yesterday. But, someone needed that, to hear that. But I love this. I love this in the way that Spirit is kind of coming in. It makes me feel with it all this spiritual support that you probably are someone, Group number 1, who has been on your spiritual path, who has really, maybe some of you have taken a lot of time to really build that relationship with your spirit team and have a lot of, from what I'm seeing here, look at all of them all gathered up together, just, to help you along your path. So yeah, next time you feel confused and you feel stuck, think of this image here of your spirit team standing behind you and asking you, like, look, see this, trust yourself, receive the information, be open to receiving it. Also, I noticed that she's quiet, she's still, right? And this is where meditation, quieting the mind, stillness, spending some time by yourself, outdoors, out in nature, can be something that is very beneficial for you to get in that habit of connecting with your higher self, especially for those of you where this is new and you're just like, how do I connect to my higher self? How can I, hear my spirit guides or my spirit team? This is the way. Okay. Spend more quiet time, less thinking, right? More just still. Even if it's you just start off with 5 minutes a day and you kind of build upon that and just be open, just quiet with whatever comes through. Don't judge it. Don't try to overthink it. Just whatever comes through. Sometimes some of you might be receiving like little imagery or symbols or something when you kind of close your eyes and you're kind of meditating. Just let it flow. Okay? Don't feel the need to try to, analyze everything, because then you're going to go back to the thinking mind, and we want you to just be quiet. Right? And then afterwards you could maybe write down what you saw or what you received to help you. Okay. All right. So love this for you, group number 1. And I'm going to move on to group 2. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the clear quartz, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out, how is divine intervention taking place in your life? Okay. I did have to cover a little bit of your image up to make it a little bit more YouTube friendly. But we do have card number 2, the priestess. A little owl here. And I have my 2 owls. It's funny, there was an owl that came through in group number 1 too. But I've got 2 little owls here. This owl, and then I also have one you guys can't see off camera. That's just my little owl candle. So all the owls right now. So let's pull some more. I'm going to pull some more oracle cards to see, how is divine intervention taking place in your life. Group number 2, how is divine, and there's another one. How is divine intervention taking place in your life, group number 2? We have lady here with enjoy growth and reap rewards. We have foresight. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 2's life? We have heal the past and fix tomorrow with card number 8. Okay, and I am going to pull 3 of these. These are my handwritten ones. And we're just going to hold them to the side until we pull your tarot. So how is divine intervention taking place in group number 3's life? And one more. Okay, so we're just going to hold these to the side for a moment. We're going to pull your tarot. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 2's life? We have the 9 of Wands. We have the Fool. the Four of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Two of Swords. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Swords. I was just going to say, we've got heal the past here and fix tomorrow. And this makes me feel, because with the Four of Cups energy here, the Three of Swords at the bottom, with the Two of Cups, perhaps some of you are healing. I'm seeing Six of Swords right underneath that. Some of you might be, going through a breakup, going through some type of painful situation. This may even be breaking up with a friend, okay, in a way, like we're letting go of maybe an important person in our life, or have lost someone. The Three of Swords is a card about pain and suffering, emotional turmoil. And for some of you, it does have to do with a relationship. Now, that could be romantic for some of you. Even if this is something that you are not experiencing presently, where like a breakup has just happened, it could be something that happened years ago, and something that you're still healing from, but still very much something that's within your energy field. The Six of Swords is a card of healing, okay? It's kind of like when we're in that place of going through a period of transition, the Three of Swords, and I like the way that this Three of Swords is depicted in this card, because the Three of Swords energy with the feeling of pain and suffering and heartbreak, if you notice this picture here, it kind of looks like there's a face here that is trapped underneath the ice. Okay, like it's frozen in there, it's stuck in there. And so going back to, well, we have the Nine of Wands here, which is the very wounded energy. Okay, it's kind of like saying when we maybe have gone through something that has expended a lot of our energy, okay, and makes us feel a little bit more tired, worn down, drained, exhausted, and we're kind of reaching that point where we just feel completely like done, tired, hurt. And in this Four of Cups card here, the Four of Cups can be a card of discontent, unhappiness. It could be bordering also along that line of depression, okay? Now, the Four of Cups card, when we're feeling that uneasy, discontent feeling, if you notice, and I like the way, again, this artist here has depicted this Four of Cups, when we're in that Four of Cups energy, we are kind of shut down, closed off, maybe even a little bit withdrawn, detaching from our emotions. There's a feeling of instability here, perhaps. We could be ignoring something, distracted, missing opportunities. And if you notice in this card here, the tree is reaching out its limb, and it's putting these beautiful flowers in front of this little person's face, but she's got a blindfold on, so she can't see the flowers. Okay, and the flowers are more or less kind of like that symbol of beauty. It's basically implying, the Four of Cups basically implies that when we're in that Four of Cups state, when we're feeling unhappy and discontent, that we're distracted, and we're not seeing the beauty of life surrounding us because we're kind of consumed by something that has made us feel unhappy, you know? So it's kind of like that even though there could be something amazing that's taking place in our life, in another area of our life, we're not fully present. We're not engaged. We might even be rejecting and pushing things away and just feeling an overall sense of a lack of satisfaction. So even if there is something great, amazing that Spirit is trying to show us, or something that kind of happens in our life, we're just kind of checked out, you know? So in a way, I feel like divine intervention is taking place to help to pull you out of this energy and to help to bring, and as soon as I saw this Queen of Wands here with this little flame that's above her head, it almost made me feel like the message here is about Spirit trying to help you to get the spark back, to find the light within yourself again. Okay? Yeah, to find and to connect to that inner light within yourself, and to kind of like pick yourself up and keep going. Because, you know, the Queen of Wands is it's a beautiful energy. It's radiant, and it's powerful and confident, and, you know, very much about going after, you know, what it is that you want in life. It's about passion and creativity. We have the Ace of Wands here, which is about divine inspiration. You know, some of you, like I said, you could be having a hard time healing, having a hard time moving on from something. And this is where Spirit is saying here, heal the past and fix tomorrow. Meaning that, you know, if we are unhappy, that we don't have to stay in this place of suffering. Suffering is a choice. We can't change, you know, what happened and what has caused us pain. That's done. But we can choose to move forward. We can choose to end the suffering. That is a choice. Okay? So the Fool is about embarking on a new beginning. And then we have the Lady here. It says, enjoy growth and reap rewards, which means that we can start over, that all hope is not lost, that we can start over again, that we can create a new beginning for ourselves, that we can experience new things that can fill your life with joy, you know? So the foresight is about thinking ahead, planning ahead. It's about anticipation and what's to come, and, you know, things to look forward to. Okay? So the High Priestess is also, or the Priestess in this deck is I'm seeing that as your intuition, you know? So I want to also read a little bit about this High Priestess, or this Priestess here, which is card number 2. This is the Compendium of Witches Oracle. Let's see, number 2. Okay. So the Priestess says initiation, ascension, mastery, and power. It says she traces a circle on the ground as the flickering light of the fire makes the shadows dance around her. Her will is strong. Her vision is clear. She knows that the spirits of her ancestors guard this space. So in a way, I feel like this is you reclaiming your power. Okay? Breaking in a way out of that ice there. It says through a rite of passage, which the Six of Swords is a rite of passage card, a new world is assessed. The Priestess masters new skills, consolidates power, and elevates her knowledge. And maybe this knowledge comes from what we've gone through, right? Because the pain can also be a teacher for us. What did we learn through that experience? What has it taught us about ourselves, about others? What wisdom can we take with us moving forward? How will this change the way in which we use discernment moving forward, or make different choices moving forward? It says she knows that the betterment of ourselves lies in our actions and in the lessons drawn from our experience. It says about the witch, Owl was a Neolithic priestess who lived in the high Dniester Valley during the 4th millennium BCE. She worshipped the Earth Mother, a deity that personifies the forces of nature in both their creative and destructive aspects. Okay, so yeah, I really feel, like I said, when I looked at this Queen of Wands here, it makes me feel like you're finding your light again. You're getting reconnected to the light within yourself. Getting your spark back, you know, because here it kind of looks dim. So let's take a look at your extra cards over here. And also, you know, the Nine of Wands is a card about resilience. You know, even though we may have gone through a lot of difficulty, challenging times, things that are painful, this is the way in which that Spirit is wanting you to see how resilient you truly are. Okay? And light that fire again. Help you to pull you out of that Four of Cups energy, or the feeling of feeling stuck here. We've got wrong path, make changes ASAP. Okay. We've got illusions, not seeing clearly, and limiting beliefs, you know? So I don't know, you know, of course, this is a general reading, what this is that may have caused pain. I mean, some of you might still be in a relationship or still involved with someone right now. And you might be asking yourself, you know, should I move on from this relationship? Should I let this person go? You know, the Four of Cups can also be a card about emotional neglect, about rejection. So if you feel like even a person that you're dealing with is pushing you away, is not, you know, making you feel like your emotional needs are being met, you know, and you feel like, I just have to deal with this, I just have to stay. You know, this is where Spirit's saying that maybe there's something that you could be holding on to that you need to move on from, and feeling like this is the best that you can have, or that, you know, that, or the limiting belief that you can't have better, you can't have more, or that you're not worthy of more. Okay, so this is, you know, divine intervening, maybe, you know, helping you to move on from someone, helping you to end something. Or if there is something, right, that has come to an end, maybe this is the way divine intervenes, by saying you were stuck in an illusion. Maybe you thought this person was the right person for you, or, you know, this person was taking you down the wrong path, or this person was a distraction for you. Okay? And this could be certainly you freeing yourself from that. So divine coming in and helping you to see that if you let this person go, or let this situation go, or let this friendship go, let this job go. You know, the Two of Cups can also be a partnership. It could be a business partnership. You know, the Three of Swords is a card of loss. So, you know, it's very possible for us to recover, right, from loss, whatever type of loss we are experiencing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Group number 2. I do hope that this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the Carnelian, this is going to be your reading today. So we're asking Spirit, how is divine intervention taking place in your life? So let's see your first card. We have the Cauldron, card number 56. Okay. We are going to pull some more oracle cards, and then we'll pull your tarot. Let's see. Let's do these ones first. Group number 3. How is divine intervention taking place in your life? We have Stargazer, and it says, set your sights higher. Set your sights higher. Okay. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 3's life? Love. Love. Okay. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 3's life? We have Go Within, number 48. Okay. So we are going to pull 3 of these. These are my handwritten ones. Group number 3. How is divine intervention taking place in your life? I am going to put these face down. We're going to pull your tarot first, and then we'll take a look. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 3's life? Your love life. Okay. So that's it. Set your sights higher. So, you know, maybe for some of you, you could be settling for less than you deserve. And this is where Spirit's like, no, not for group 3. No. Oh, why did I flip these over? I said I was going to put them face down. All right, we'll just go with it. We have Pursue Your Passions and Negative Ties. Okay. All right, and I am seeing Awaken to the Needs of Your Body at the bottom, and I think I'm going to take that. And the reason why is because we have the Go Within here, and this reminds me of the Hermit. Because this almost makes me feel like if you have been, if you're single, and or you could be, you know, dealing with certain romantic situations, or even if you're in a relationship, you know, and you're not happy, or you're finding like you don't really resonate with the person that you're with any longer, or you're not feeling fulfilled. This makes me feel like you could even be taking like a timeout for you. Okay, maybe it's a focus on yourself, loving yourself, aligning with the things that you're meant to do, your purpose, your mission, destined career path, focusing on your own needs, cutting ties with people who are not really adding value to your life. Because Spirit is saying, set your sights higher. Love, maybe with, if there's a job that you're at and you're just like, I'm not passionate about this, it pays the bills, but I don't like it, right? If we're feeling bored, right? Awakening to the needs of our body. If we're feeling understimulated, maybe if overwhelmed, burnt out, right? Paying attention to how you feel. Not just focusing on others, but shifting the focus back towards yourself, okay? So I'm just going to put these to the side for a moment. And we're going to pull your tarot. Group number 3. How is divine intervention taking place in your life? Sometimes, and I've been there too in my own life, where I put way too much focus on my love life and I neglected other aspects of my life that ended up suffering because of that, where I was just like, love, 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 love. I need to find someone. And it was just, it made me just drained, because that was a time where I was, at that time I had really low self-esteem, abandonment wounds, and just a mess, basically. Lots of insecurities, and I kept trying. And it was just like all about love life. And then, the rest of my life was just a mess too. How is divine intervention taking place in group number 3's life? The 9 of Wands. This card has come out in every single group today. The 9 of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands. The 8 of Swords. Two of Pentacles. The King of Cups. Beautiful. And the King of Swords. Yeah, I'm even kind of getting like some of you, as this relates to your love life, dealing with people who are inconsistent, connections that are fleeting, people who are unreliable, people who might have fears of really opening up to love. You could even be attracting a lot of like wounded people who are very guarded and detached and just kind of like not really opening their heart. People that might have a lot of limiting beliefs about love. And it kind of makes me feel like those of you that are going to be resonating with this group are tired. Tired of it. Tired of attracting wounded people, people who are emotionally unavailable, people who are not emotionally mature, people who are inconsistent, people who you cannot depend on, people who kind of just are in and out of your life. People who are, holding out for someone who's, really a very good emotional support for you. People who, are open to loving you with their whole heart. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom here. The Wheel of Fortune is about change. The wheel is the divine's will. So this is helping you, I feel like, in a way with divine intervention, to even move out of certain cycles that you may have been in, especially as it relates to your love life. Okay? Because, some of you could be dealing with where you are super open, loving, nurturing, compassionate, empathetic, and then finding that you're connecting with people who are cold, who are detached, very rigid, more guarded and closed off, not really open to receive what you're trying to give or to build. Some of you may, in fact, still have negative ties to certain people that Spirit is trying to be like, stop. Set your sights higher here. Awaken to what your needs are. Don't, because it feels like self-abandonment, or you neglect your own needs and what your true desires are, just for the sake of love, just for the sake of saying, I'm in a relationship, even though it may not be one that is really what you're looking for, really what your soul desires. So the Wheel of Fortune, is about aligning us to our destined path, fate, destiny, but it's also about karmic cycles. So it could even be where we have certain patterns or cycles when it comes to perhaps maybe dating people who, are not really aligned. The Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. The Seven of Wands, can be about facing adversity, challenges. It's also about standing your ground, having boundaries with people. The Queen of Pentacles is right underneath here with the Sun, The Queen of Pentacles is about nurturing a relationship, long-term commitment. The Sun is about joy, happiness, abundance, a feeling of success, right? At being able to achieve a successful long-term relationship. And again, kind of like I was saying at the very beginning, not taking less than you're deserving of. And that Seven of Wands is standing your ground. If you say, this is what I want, we're not going to take less than that. Okay? So, what did I want to see here? I think I want to... Let's start with your cauldron first. We're going to see what this cauldron is about. This is the Compendium of Witches Oracle, card number 56. Okay. So it says new ideas, transmutation, and creation. Cauldrons have long been associated with the practice of witchcraft in the Western tradition. One of the most famous examples is perhaps the cauldron of poetic inspiration used by the Celtic goddess Clairaudient to brew a potion capable of granting wisdom and knowledge. Creation doesn't happen in a sterile environment, and new ideas are often the result of many concepts and perspectives coming together, being stirred and brewed in the dark depths of the subconscious mind before emerging as something new. So what this kind of gives to me for your reading today about your love life, and about maybe releasing negative ties to certain people, it kind of feels that I almost kind of see it as like a purification process, but also all of the experience that you've gained, even though some of the experiences that you've had could have been painful, frustrating, confusing, to say the least, that all of these things have helped you also, or will help you, to truly discover what it is that you really want and what you don't want when it comes to love. So I think I want to look at this go within here. Let's actually do the negative ties first. How has these negative ties impacted group 3? How have these negative ties impacted group number 3? The Chariot. The Two of Cups. Okay. So, and the Eight of Wands. Okay. So basically, and there's the Devil. Look at that. Okay. Your negative ties that you could have had to certain people. The Devil can represent people who are toxic. The Devil can also represent emotional or just manipulation in general, lies, deceit, illusion. People who may not have the best intentions. It could even keep us holding on to certain people and situations longer than we should. And the way that this has affected you, I mean, this could have caused us to be codependent here, under the manipulation, possession, or control of another person. We can have karmic bonds or attachments to certain people. We might even have some unhealthy or develop some unhealthy patterns of behavior, or even experience connections with people who have unhealthy patterns of behaviors in relationships, right? The Devil can also, be about obsession and an unhealthy, even attachment that we might have to someone, okay? And what this is basically, I feel like in this case, preventing is your ability to successfully move forward into a more balanced and harmonious relationships, or to even prevent you from truly aligning with your soulmate. Okay. So I'm going to keep this here. And then I want to clarify this go within here. Because you could even be asking yourself, is this really healthy? Is this truly making me happy? Is this really what I want? Why is go within here? Six of Pentacles. Yep. This is about receiving. You receiving. Is it balanced? Again, that's where Spirit's saying, set your sights higher. You deserve more. You're worthy of more. Seven of Cups has to do with illusion. So do we have the illusion of things being balanced? Are we keeping ourselves trapped in an illusion of, negative ties to certain people, and, we're in that illusion of that we are receiving what we should be? It even reminds me of people who string you along, breadcrumb you. Yep. There's the Wheel of Fortune again. So, this could even be trying to help you to see certain patterns that you keep repeating. Because the Devil energy is very captivating, alluring. Sometimes people that come into our life can seem like they are our wish come true, right? But when someone is toxic, or someone is lying, someone is manipulating, someone has intentions that are not really in our best interest, we don't always see it, right? Because the devil creates this illusion. So we have to really use discernment and really trust our intuition, because your intuition will warn you, right? Whether or not a person is the right person for you. And sometimes we ignore that. We become so obsessed or infatuated, or, you know, feel such a strong physical connection, which is also what that devil energy is about, that we just kind of get lost in it, and we get taken away in it, and we end up getting stuck or caught up in that illusion of receiving what we need, or that it is best for us, or that we become so attached to someone that's not good for us, you know, and we get fooled. And sometimes people put on a mask and appear to be one way, and we start to realize, oh, they're not who I thought they were. The mask falls off, you know? And being that the Seven of Cups is about illusions, and sometimes if we let it go too far, we become delusional, right? And we're just not seeing clearly. And so this is where Spirit is divinely intervening into your life, and that could be helping to clear your foggy lens, to help you to see clearly who we're connected to. You know, the King of Swords is about logic. It's about truth. It's about honesty. So, I mean, this could even be Spirit coming through with messages to say, are you really being honest with yourself about this person, about this situation? Are you really receiving what you need here? Are you keeping yourself stuck in this fantasy and this illusion, or are you delusional, right? About a person or a situation? How do you feel? Do you feel like your needs are being met? What kind of patterns do you keep repeating? Okay. Let's see what this is about pursuing your passions here. So this could even be redirecting you away, right, from certain people. What is this about pursue your passions here? Justice. Justice is about making the right choices. Eight of Pentacles. And the Three of Wands. Yeah. I mean, this could be helping you to shift your focus towards yourself, towards your future, towards work, towards career, towards money, you know, getting yourself in order. Like I said, kind of giving the example of my own life experience too, where I made my love life my priority day in, day out, and neglected other areas of my life, was not in alignment with, you know, the right job, unhappy, not making hardly any money, living paycheck to paycheck, which, you know, is you know, sometimes the norm for people. But this makes me feel like Spirit could be helping you to, you know, remove certain people out of your life that are keeping you stuck, you know, people that don't really align with you. People that drag you down, people that don't inspire you. And I kind of feel like when you're with the right person, you know, a person who's supportive, a person who inspires you, where the two of you kind of, and that's like, to me, that's like soulmate. Where two people who are working together as a team to love, to support each other's dreams, goals, desires. You know, so if we're kind of caught up with people who are negative, you don't really, you know, it drains you, basically. It drains you, and you don't really focus on yourself. You're kind of consumed by that person, that situation, you know, and you don't really focus where we should. So yeah, I feel like spirits kind of could be divinely intervening to kind of to help you to see where you might have negative ties to certain people or certain situations or even workplaces, and to help you to remove you out of that place, to love yourself enough and love and respect yourself enough to get yourself out of those situations and to want more for yourself, and to help you to see clearly and to take decisive action to change your life, change your situation, set you on the right path. And like Spirit is saying, set your sights higher. You deserve more. You're worthy of more, whether it's love, whether it's money, career, finances, and being able to truly be successful and find success within your life. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, Group 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.